What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into the video.
Do you feel like maybe it's where you're finding men, maybe? Like, the type of men, you think?
Yeah, maybe you need to go to the library.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, or the grocery store, shit.
No, I know.
Maybe be on a podcast.
Well, the thing is, also, men don't approach you in LA.
100% no.
So,
absolutely not. Especially when you're pretty, too. They're like, no.
Yeah, and being plus size is like a whole nother
yes.
thing.
Oh, my God, girl.
So
I know
that's
it.
why I feel like I only meet men, like, on jobs or online.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would go out with my friends quite often, and the entire time I've lived in LA, I've had definitely less than 10 men approach me. Definitely less than 10.
Wow.
How long have you lived in LA?
8 years.
Wow. I was thinking you were like a couple years.
Like, come up to me on the street.
Yeah.
How come they didn't tell her to move the microphone up? But besides that, I mean, she said that she lives in LA, and she says being plus size, as well as just like in general, a lot of men don't approach beautiful women. And I think that especially when it comes to being plus size, I think LA is one of the most competitive places to live in as a woman when it comes to beauty. The beauty standard over there is like unmatched. You know, I know regular people, like women who are like regular, like work in regular jobs, who have like different procedures done to keep their looks up to par. So I think that the standard of beauty over there is just like at a very, very high level. So especially if you are maybe plus size, it could be a lot harder for men to approach you because they have so many options of like, you know, different women. And so I think that plays a huge part. I think her location plays a huge part to her getting approached as a woman, especially as a plus size woman.
But I see why that doesn't happen in LA though.
Why is that?
Because like LA is one of those places too where, one, there's a lot of people that are insecure. One. Two, like rejection is definitely feared out here in LA because like there's been times where like a girl fell and I helped her up and she's like, ugh, and I was just like, wow. Like, so I think like even by you being
oh my God.
Like, yeah, I was like,
okay.
Like the communication, like even going into the elevator the other day, I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And this girl's like, and I'm just thinking like, I'm just a friendly person. You know, my mom taught me to speak to people. Like, all my friends from Alabama. But that, like, I noticed that, like, and it might not be, like, the prettier shit, like, anything like that, but I do notice, like, a level of, like, don't talk to me, you know, like, there's, like, a stench in the air.
So I don't know if I agree with him saying that it is based off of, you know, the fear of men being rejected. I don't know if I 100% agree with that. I think it could be the fear of disrespect. I would say that. The fear of someone, you know, a woman disrespecting you or you know, not necessarily in the rejection. It's more of like the attitude that you're going to get in return. And I think that's, I don't think it's necessarily a fear of like the rejection itself. I think it's how it's maybe done. Because if a woman is like, you know, hi, well, thank you so much, or, you know, sorry, I'm not interested, or whatever, I think that's one thing. If a woman is like, ugh, why are you talking to me? I think that's a completely different aspect of the conversation. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I generally want to know what you guys think, especially men.
Out here,
and I'm going to tell you why that is
like that. And so I can see someone not approaching you because they're like, wow, she's a beautiful woman, and I don't want to say something. And then she's just like you don't want your day to be fucked up because you said hello to somebody. You know?
I think that's a chance you got to take if you think somebody fired.
But what I'm saying is like after you take 2 chances and you find out that fire is fired.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a chance you got to take if you feel like somebody's fired. I feel like at the end of the day, like, women are complaining about being approached and not being approached, but at the same time, it's women who are like disrespecting these men that do approach them. and causing this situation. So it's like, what do you want men to do? Do you want them to not speak at all based off of your off-putting attitude, facial expressions, or the things that you say? Or do you want them to approach you? Like, you have to pick one. You can't have both. You can't have it both ways.
You know what I'm saying? You like, all right, you know what? How many times you gonna touch the stove? You know?
Okay, I understand.
It's like,
Well, but this is something that we wanted to touch on. Is like there's this cultural society thing going on, especially if you're in the industry, you're a public figure. As a man, you know, you've seen the famous Keanu Reeves picture where he's taking fans with photos. And have you seen this? This
He
like
does not touch any.
He will not touch
won't touch
anybody.
a girl. He takes a picture. He puts his hand behind their back like this. Like he puts it
Like
straight out.
this.
He will not
His hand,
hug them.
you see his full palm.
Every single time you see him take a picture. Google it when you get home. But it's so funny.
It'll blow your mind.
It
but
will.
This is a real thing in the industry because there's, you know, and in workplaces, not even just, you know, entertainment industry, but if you're a man and you're alone with the woman, like you don't want that situation to come up. Like if you have stuff, if you have a career, if you have money, if you have whatever, you're in your mind, you're like, okay, one weird situation in an elevator,
it blows up.
it could all be gone.
Yeah.
Is it worth the risk? You know, that person has to be.
I think that's understandable, though, 100%. I mean, I think that's even 1,000,000%, I would say that's completely understandable. I mean, nobody wants to be put in a compromising situation, and I think the fact that they're going those leaps and bounds to, like, not even touch someone and stuff like that, I think that says a lot about their character and them trying to show that, like, hey, I'm respectful. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Worth the risk. So I'm just curious to pose the question, I guess, back to you guys is, do you think things will change where girls are going to feel like, I don't get approached anymore, and they're going to start approaching guys, and that's going to be the norm? Or do you think things will just soften up a little bit, and it'll be more acceptable to be, hey, how you doing? Oh, I see you fall. Let me help you out.
It's only going to get worse.
You think so?
I think
so
it'll
too.
just resort to online.
It's
Yeah.
just online.
I agree.
And like the good thing about too online is you can see someone's lifestyle through like their Instagram. Like you can.
Hell no. No, that is not the good thing about online, because online you can be seeing a full facade of somebody's lifestyle that they want you to see, and that's not who they really are, and you don't know that. So hell no to that. And also, hell no to this online interaction. You need to know how somebody is in real life. You need to know if they have social skills. You need to know how they speak, how they act, how they, articulate themselves. Do they look you in your eyes when you're talking to them? Like, these are the things that you ultimately want to know. I think hiding behind a screen or hiding behind a phone is not setting you up for success when it comes to a relationship. Now, if you're going to spend a lot of time, like, after you meet somebody on one of these kind of avenues in person, that's one thing. But I think, the approach and even hiding behind somebody, I don't agree with that.
You can look at someone's Instagram and somewhat see, like, their friends or who they interact, unless they're, like, tricky and shit. But I'm saying, like, you can look at somebody and say, oh, okay, like, this person seems fun. Like, they, it's almost like, it's like, in some ways, it's almost like a resume that you can see at times.
This girl seems fun.
Are you like, oh, okay, this person seems, she has a good relationship with her, this and this,
Yeah.
I think Instagram.
Most women that get approached online, like women who also get approached in real life, women who get approached online they're more keen on, like, not answering unless, and this is not from my personal experience when it comes to, like, the DMs and stuff like that, but I know that more women say that, like, they're more prone to respond or to answer or whatever if there's, like, a blue check, right? But, like, majority of the people that go into, like, a person's DM, they are not going to respond to you. Like, women who get approached in real life and men come up to them, even if it is the case, a lot of men don't approach women anymore at all. But if that's the case, like, they're not going to be prone on, like, going for it off of somebody that they don't know, they have no connection to, and they're meeting off of social media. I think that a lot of women are actually, like, real women are not going to be, and when I say real, I mean, like, traditional, are not going to be, like, prone on that kind of situation. A lot. I'm not going to say all. I'm just saying a lot of women are not. I think that person-to-person, real face-to-face interaction is just a completely different experience than, finding out somebody through no connection, through, like, an online source. Not saying it doesn't happen. It does happen. It absolutely does happen. But, like, more often than not, a woman that sees a man that just hops into her DMs, she's probably going to be like, no, thank you.
Good. It's like a quick snapshot
Yes.
into who that person is, but not on their page. You gotta look at the tag photos for the real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like what they put. You know,
100%.
I mean, people be
100%.
faking for Instagram. It's wild.
Yeah, but even the tag photos, people have the opportunity to untag themselves and stuff like that, and only let themselves be tagged in things that they want you to see. It's all a facade.
How far, like the links people will go to.
Oh, I know.
To make it look like
they live in a lifestyle.
Exactly. Literally. You'd be surprised. I've seen niggas who are homeless in
No
real
way.
life, but like you next to a Bentley right now, like it's that extreme.
See, that ain't right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. Like I want to be low key. I don't want anybody like coming up to me like, oh, you did this, you did that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Humble.
Yeah, but I think there is a psychological thing too, where if you're a very attractive woman or you're a model, I mean, let's be honest, if you're a model, you're kind of like top tier, like as far as at least your face symmetry and all that.
Right.
Where a lot of guys will be like, oh, they're really pretty, they're beautiful. I'm sure guys approach them all the time, and then there's this drop off where they actually get approached less.
Yeah.
There's actually real statistics that like the really top
like,
beautiful girls, they get approached less.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The people that I get approached by the most are like old Hispanic men.
Girl, same.
They shooting they shot.
Papi has no problem talking to you. Hola.
Like whistling. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's no truth to that. Like, they don't have I think older men in general, older men don't really have a problem, like, approaching women. And I think it's also just your vibration. Like, I think if a man is interested enough and he thinks that you're very, like, attractive, he is going to try to approach you. And I think it's also if, like, he tries a little dialogue with you, like, maybe in the grocery store or something, and you're not as disrespectful or you're not, like, rude or off-putting, they might be, like, more prone to try. But I think, yeah, that is true. A lot of men don't approach a woman who is ultimately, like, extremely beautiful in the same sense, because maybe they've been rejected by a lot of women, or they think like, oh no, here she go. She might be snooty, or she might have her head in the clouds, so I don't even want to go down that route. Again, because of the off-putting energy they've gotten from other people in the past before. And yeah, I think a portion of it is that men are like, oh, well, she probably gets that all the time. So, I don't know.
You know what? Also, I want to tell you guys a little story because this happened to me today. So I live in Hollywood, and I was walking to Starbucks today with my dog, and this homeless guy, he just started walking with me, right? And for me, he was dressed okay. It wasn't dirty. He had Chucks on. He had like a nice little shirt, but he was holding a bowl to smoke weed or whatever. And he was just walking with me, and he wasn't saying, he was like, what's up? I'm like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, yeah, so it's nice out, huh? I'm like, he was talking like a normal person. So to me, I'm not threatened because I'm like, I'm 5'10". What's Shorty really gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I got my dog. It's broad daylight. I'm walking to Starbucks. I'm on Hollywood Boulevard. Not a big deal. Okay, so he's walking with me or whatever, and he's just telling me stories like, yeah, man, I swear to God, like, man, fuck my brother, man. My brother just stole 10 racks from me. I'm like, did he though? So then he's like, yeah, he stole my chain too. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. So he's like, yeah. So I walk up to the Starbucks and he's like, yeah, man, I just lost my card though, but could you give me some? And you know me, I'm like, what is a $3 coffee? I'm not tripping at all. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm blessed. Like, let me bless him. Like, well, whatever. I go in there, I get him a bunch of shit or whatever. And then I come out and I give it to him. I'm like, hey, like, this is for you. I give it to him. And he's like, I'm like, yo, I'm about to hop on a phone call with my dad, but like, it was nice to meet you. Because I didn't want him to think I wanted to walk with him still. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, oh, thank you. I wish we could do this every day. I was like, oh,
I give him credit.
I was like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. He's like, oh, you sure? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I can walk with you. So he kind of like followed me a little bit.
You should have been like, same time tomorrow.
No way.
Yeah, you should have.
No, because I go to that Starbucks all the time.
Every single day.
No, I would never be able to go back.
Crazy with crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No.
He was just trying to get his meal, okay? I don't know if he was shooting his shot. He was trying to get fed. He was like, oh, you gonna feed me today? Okay, I'm trying to get fed every single day.
And then so that made me think, like, it's kind of scary. Like, sometimes you can't really respond to men because you just, I I don't know that sometimes men realize the boundary. Not all men, but some men don't realize, like, just because I spoke to you and I said hello does not mean follow me.
Yeah, see, we don't know.
You don't know, and that's the tricky part.
Sometimes they means follow you, like, hey, hang out.
Right, exactly. So yeah, that was my experience.
The fact that he's a man and he said that we don't know is crazy to me. Because I feel like men know. Like, I feel like men are aware of what is creepy and what's not creepy. And I think that as a woman, you have to be able to be vocal enough, but at the same time, you always have to guard yourself against anyone, any stranger, against women and men. I think in general, I think there's so much emphasis on the fact that, like, men are just these crazy creatures that are trying to ultimately always harm us. And sometimes it could just literally be your husband approaching you, trying to holler at you, trying to be, in his eyes persistent, and you shut him down, and he was a nice guy, safe guy, wasn't trying to harm you, but because you have this thing in your head that says that all these people are trying to hurt you, now it's this situation where men don't approach women anymore. Because they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with that kind of situation. They don't want to deal with, you walk past them, you smell good, you look good, and they're like, damn, hey, you're beautiful, and you being like, don't be trying to talk to me when they're literally just giving you a compliment. Some of them they're not even interested, okay? Or maybe they have something great. Maybe if you saw their spouse at home, you'd be like, oh, wow, she's gorgeous, and he was just genuinely admiring the beauty of a woman. So I think that we have to stop acting. I mean, I understand that this is, 2022 now, crazy world we live in, but at the same time, I think that there's this large emphasis on, like, ultimate harm that's always lurking from people outside, and that's not always the truth.
It's with getting approached, shouting in the chucks,
Well, because women like nonverbal cues, but guys don't always pick up on the nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
So if there was like a diagram or like a poster that we could learn in school, then maybe we'd be straight. But
That'd be a big poster.
it's like 100 different. The hair flip. She likes you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It can get real tricky for sure. And lastly,
I mean, the fact that she's a woman now and she's saying she doesn't know it can get tricky is like a next thing, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's the instability of women, okay? And also the delusion of women. You want what you want, but then you don't want that. And now everything has changed and we don't want that at all. But at the same time, we want that. Like, I think that it's not logical. It's not logical thinking, because the women who don't hold that kind of energy are getting approached. And when they're getting approached, they're not vastly, like, being put into harm's way, or they feel like their lives are in danger because they tell somebody that they're not interested or they are interested, or whatever the case is. I think it's your vibe, to be honest.
I feel obligated to date within your culture. I just wanted to ask you guys that. There's a lot of pressure when you're black and you're doing very well and you're successful in the music industry. Some people will hate on you if you don't date like black people. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see like a black athlete and then like with a white girl, like people like, what the fuck, I don't personally feel like that, because I'm like, date who you want, love who you love. But do you guys feel any pressure to do that?
I don't feel pressure because I'm mainly attracted to black men. So
okay.
I don't want to go into this part of the conversation just because of the fact that I really wanted to stick to the approach of women. I've seen this conversation come up a lot of times, and I generally want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Do you think, and do you feel that men are not approaching women because of their insecurities or their fear of rejection? Do you think it's about the respect that women are offering or not offering? Do you think it's because women have created this thing where, like, don't talk to me? Do you think that women are going to end up having to approach men? Like, ultimately, what do you guys think about this in the comment section down below? I genuinely want to know. Of course, the link to this video is going to, because, there's still some time left in this video, it's going to be linked in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check out the full video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And again, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.